You're wasting money on audio engineers and music producers if you don't show up ready. You're actually degrading the quality of your music, especially if you are an independent artist. In this video, I want to define what it is not to be ready, explain why and how it happens, give examples of success and not so much success and why, and give solutions and tips. But first, let's start with a story. A few weeks ago, I had a lot of artists coming my way, and a lot of them wanted production, but I wasn't offering it. So I sent a message to a producer to ask him if he was willing to receive some artists. And he didn't say thank you for thinking of me. He said one thing: make sure they are serious. Now, what does it look like to be unserious? Well, I have 7 hints that tell that to me when I meet you. First, if you are overly hype and ambition in the first minutes of the meeting, you're not serious. Second, if your stems are not high quality enough, you're not serious. Clipping, effects on the stems, timing and tuning issues that are too important is a reason I think you're not serious. Third, if you don't have reference tracks and demo to support your vision of your track, you're not serious. 4, if you have to contact people to get the stems to me, it seems funny, but you'd be surprised the amount of times that I got on a call with the producer, with another producer, another guy that recorded, just to get the stems my way. It's really tiring, and I'm not working on the mix during that time, So this shows you're not ready. 5, if you are rushing the process. It might happen that time is crushing you a little bit, but let's be honest, it shows you haven't planned your stuff properly. 6, you don't have a clear budget. Period. 7, and this is the most important to me, you're not able to communicate your vision well. You're not able to tell what are your mixing preferences, what you want, like musically or sonically with that project. That shows that you're not ready. I learned that through hundreds of conversations with artists and dozens of video calls where I met many different people. And I have 2 archetypes that kind of stood out from those. One, the super hype artist, as I've already mentioned. Someone that is like, we're gonna make it big, we're gonna make it international. And sometimes the stems are great, the quality's good, and they've had their share of success in the past. I've even had a guy that was signed to a big label, but as soon as I talked about contracts or payments, it kind of drifted back to the hype vibe. Like, hey, so how are we gonna split the royalties? What's your budget for this? Yeah, man, we're in this together. We're working on that. We're gonna make it big. It's gonna be international. It's a hit. No, man, it's not gonna work like that. And so we have to be maturely talking about contracts if you want to move further. The second archetype is the send the stems and wait. Somebody that sometimes at the beginning the communication is good, but then I have a question and he doesn't answer, or it's vague, and then I'll start doubting. And then oftentimes it turns out to be very defensive instead of a collaboration. So I'll send a first mix revision, and instead of taking the time to give comments, he'll just say that he doesn't like it without like further information, right? Whereas other people, I've sent a first version, they like did not like some aspects of it. They gave their comments and we worked it out after like 2 or 3 revisions. It's normally good and the person is satisfied. The artist thinks that this is great quality for their work. Now, the solutions. Before we talk too much about that, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fully prepared, and like overthink this, okay? Now that I tell you everything I tell you today, you'll be aware. And like anything in life, awareness is key. So, to be prepared, you should have a clear vision. Take the time, sit down, listen to your demo, look at your project in your DAW and be like, okay, how I want the kick to sound, how I want the snare to sound. Like what are like the volumes that I want? The kick first, the bass first, the vocal is very shiny, These are all examples of a vision you should have about your project. But if you don't have a clear vision, it will be hard for the engineer to clearly do their job. They'll do it as how they think it sounds good. And it's not often the same as you. So make sure you have a clear vision about your project. Also, second, have quality stems. I'll be more precise here. It's not about gear, it's about knowledge. Have around -18 of RMS. This is an average measurement for volume, okay? You should have this in a plugin or directly in your DAW, RMS. And -18, some say -24, some say -14. I go with -18 around that. The most important is that you don't clip. So aim for peaks around -10, -6. Don't clip. If you clip, it distorts, and this is really hard to manage. It's never gonna be as good as tracks that never clipped. Also, make sure you label your stems, the name. You could add actually the effect you want on that stem and if it's panned left or right. And doing that saves you time, and it just makes the communication clearer, You write stuff on the stem label. You don't even have to say it. I'll see it. That's awesome. 3, okay. 3 is really important, and I have this profoundly in my heart. Trust the engineer. Trust the person you're hiring, because if you don't trust the person, this will contaminate the whole project. So if you need more time to talk with the engineer, take that time, It's kind of a job interview. And if the person does not pass or succeed in your interview, in your vision of what it takes to be a good engineer for you, don't hire him. Just don't do it, because this is gonna be a pain the whole way through for you and for the person, and you don't want that. And if you don't trust the engineer, it's gonna be hard to communicate, because you'll be a bit on like defense mode, as I talked earlier. So yeah, developing your trust and faith in the engineer work is chief to work with him. Yeah. 4 is the last solution / tip I have for you, and for me this is like the paramount of all, meaning that it touches everything and it's everywhere. Be active. Give feedback. Give idea. Suggest modifications. Anything, bro. Just be there. Be present in the process. It's so important, right? And This will give you your balance between hype and seriousness, right? You'll be motivated, you'll show your energy to the producer, but you'll also show that your energy is grounded and serious. You're not just like, hey, we're gonna make it big. You're just like, hey, I love this, bro. And could you please turn up the snare a little bit? Yeah, of course, I'll do that. Like, when you tell me of something to do, it kind of motivates me because I know that it's gonna fit your taste. And there's nothing that I like more than being sure that you like it, right? So, yeah, man, be active. It's actually true in many other aspects of life. So now you should have all you need to be efficient with the engineer you want to hire. So show up to him, be ready, be serious, and everything is going to be fine. When you're ready, it flows, it's easy, and you are aligned. And you can be sure that the result, the quality, because remember that this is the goal. You want the highest sound quality. When you're ready, it's gonna be fire, man. The quality's gonna be there. It's gonna be good. The sound's gonna be great. You'll like it. You'll be satisfied. People will like it. You'll create a nice connection with an engineer. You have maybe a system with that person where you can create more and more songs. So go ahead, be ready. And this is my favorite part. Why do we do that? Why do we show up not ready? I mean, I've been there and I've wondered why we do that. I think we do that because being independent is a lot. Right? We have a lot to think about, and you've done your recordings and everything, and now you're like, the engineer's gonna do the job, the finale, right? But it's not really how it works. Maybe also we do that because we are afraid of hurting others, right? We don't want to hurt others' feelings, so we don't say that we want the snare louder because the engineer is gonna take it personal. No, man, I don't take things personal. And for me, and in many, again, aspects of life, taking it personal, not really useful. And one last thing, money. There's money involved. It's your personal project and money, and you don't want nothing wrong to happen to it. So you're afraid, you're wary, and this is normal, right? And so these are why I think we do that. We show up unprepared. And I hope you learned some stuff. I hope that it can help you in your music journey. So don't forget to communicate your vision clearly, have your stems, your references, and your demo ready, your money ready, and be active in the process. All right, happy music. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.